Welcome to the first talk on the main stage today. Don't rate it yet, wait for it first. But remember, use the NeosCon app to submit your questions so we can talk to John afterwards. I'm not going to lose many words to introduce John. Most of you have probably used some of his packages. And theming is something I know you've been thinking about for a long time. So I'm quite excited to hear if you finally bring WordPress to Neos or what you have up your sleeve. So please give a warm round of applause, John Uhlmann.
Welcome from my side to the one and only hangover talk. I think I'm going to give you 5 stars that you be here and survive the last night. One buddy from me, he go to bed at 5 o'clock, so it's quite chapeau. So, yes, we talk about themes. I mean, WordPress isn't, as Neos is not like the system you say, it's for theming. Oh, it's falling down. Moment. Let's do it like that. It's not famous for that because you always have to deploy if you want to change something. If you want to change your logo or something, you have to deploy. And I was always thinking about how it would be possible to do that. So, but first, I have to say that almost every website looked the same, right? We have a big hero element who says we are unique, and we have 3 columns with teaser because everybody have 3 columns with teaser. And the hero looks like that. We have a big S heading with some great text and a call to action and then a funny picture or a pet or something like that. So everybody admits so. Every side looks the same, kind of. And when you think about themes, you have to think about what should be changeable. What do you think? What do you want to change if you want to have a theme? Logos, yes. First things first, colors. I have to say, sorry, I can't change the order that fast, but logo will come. We have fonts. And yes, we have a logo. And yes, you can make it bigger. Some parts of the navigation, perhaps in the footer, you have some imprints and disclaimer and anything you want there, and some visual elements. And also, we built in my system, I show you, I built also something like automatic GDPR stuff where you can click your things together and the text will be generated just to don't write it all the time. But I have to say, WordPress is awesome. Really, I mean it, because in terms of theming, it does a good job. How they made it, you can talk about it, but there are many different editors for theme. You have also complete different systems. You have something like Wix and all how they named. It's always funny to look what they came up with for names. So WordPress is awesome, and I think they point a need for some people to be able to generate a website very fast. So now we think about how it would be if you say, oh, I need a website. Give me 5 minutes, then you have one with your custom logo, your custom colors, all this kind of stuff. It would be quite nice, right? I mean, it's not made for every site, but you can adapt some of the patterns in almost every site because it speeds up your development. So, yes, WordPress is awesome, but hey, we here, Neos is awesome. And I want to show you first some examples how the pages look like they're actually live. So that's the first. It's kind of the first child of this project, because this is from a friend. He started some music production. He's also a programmer, and he said, I need a website. And I started making it and thought about it, how it could be that I could change all these things and don't have to rewrite everything all the time. And this was kind of the kick-off website for this whole project. It's some years ago. And then with the time, even Dave Spiola from yesterday, he got his website done, because he has years and years he's working and has no website. And also for my own website, I was able to change from Assistant Ghost. Perhaps some of you know it. Yes, I was had a Ghost website. I changed it to Neos finally, and so on. There's some others with some ladish color. And even a website like this was a complete custom navigation and some parallax effect and some totally unique features in it. It was kind built upon this, and it's over the time it grows and grows, and it's getting a whole ecosystem, kind of like we have a site also where you can just create from any site you want. You can create an email. You can send test email. We do this with Mautic. The plain text is automatic generated, and it's working great. I think they generate quite a lot of of newsletters, and this is just how it could look like in the back end. You have some, of course, if you want to have a theming, you have to make everything adjustable. So you have to say, okay, please enter your address, your legal stuff like your UID number, your social networks. If you want to have a sharing button on the side, on the blog, for example, on which network the people should be sharing. It is native sharing via email, copy link, Facebook, what you name it, X or Twitter. And also we built in some stuff like the package from Zeitgeist, Paper Tiger, where you can click your forms, and you have some there adjustment you can make, like setting the email address globally and all this kind of stuff. A help desk integration from Zamat, where you can choose the chat ID and all this kind of stuff. You have to do it, but it's quite nice. And if you say your policy right, so that don't everybody can look inside, perhaps you store some passwords in it. For example, for Paper Tiger, for the email setting, you want to hide it from everybody, but you can adjust this and say, okay, just the administrator or a dedicated user can change this. And the same is for the whole theming, like we see here now. You have some light mode, some dark mode, and with the time, I think I rewrite this part, I think 5 or 6 times. Changed, wrote our own color picker, later do that more, where we can really change the whole thing. Change the color, like you see here. You can change the logo, you see it even in the context of the header. And we created something like you saw, like a code pen, but later do more. You have the setting for the whole navigation, for the footer, and with the time I wrote quite a lot of custom editors for doing stuff like that, where you can adjust the waves and play around it. And even some custom editors where you can load the fonts inside of it. You can choose it, and if they're variable fonts, you can set all the settings automatically with their features they have, besides font weight and slant and width and all this kind of stuff. And you can even say, yeah, I want to have this kind of font for my buttons. Then we also integrated kind of all Font Awesome Pro icons. Inside of it, you can search for it and display it and integrate it. For example, here, this is the configuration for the scroll indicator, where you can activate on a website who says there's coming some more content, please scroll down. And then you have also kind of stuff like the fav icons, the web manifest, and browser config, where we set the color and all this kind of stuff. And of course, you have to do some routing in the front end, that everything works right. Because one benefit of this, when you have something like this, that you can have with no problem, you have a multi-site setup. For example, my website in the background, I think it's 4 or 5 different websites running in the same system, because I can. So, oh, I just need a website for something little like this. Just do it. It's very fast. And yeah, then you need some kind of general content elements like a slider. So it's a question, do you like what you see? Yes? I don't know. I don't know. No, and like the pizza delivery diagram and some kind of bento box stuff where you can arrange the thing. You can add some text fields in it. You can say I want this width, this height, and all this kind of stuff. Because as we learned, almost every website looks the same. So it's just the arrangement of how you arrange your content, of how you, what kind of pictures do you use. You can create totally different styles of websites, for example. And even if you can say, I want to have different fonts, I have different, my logo is on the right side, my logo is on the left side, I have a logo with a picture in it, or a SVG, or combined, or with fonts. You just can do it like that, and like that you have a tool set where you can really create fast and easy websites. And if you want to go nuts, come on. So it's built in the background with Tailwind, of course. If you don't know what Tailwind is, last year I gave a talk about Tailwind and Alpine.js. You can hear it there. But there's a dedicated file where you can set some settings for different plugins, and you can set some font sizes. It's use Utopia. That's a responsive font sizing tool that I need less breakpoints, and it's quite nice. And you may ask, yes, but how is this done? All this stuff you see right now, how is this done? Okay, it's done with Neos, of course, but in the front end, how it's managed to be on every side. What do you think? Is there any idea in the room how this could be achieved? I hear it. CSS variables, or in the correct term, custom CSS custom properties. So almost everything is done with that. Even the wave is just a custom property. Just CSS. CSS is becoming quite powerful in these days. Some years ago, the definite guide to CSS was a book about this thick, and now it's a brick where you can kill people with it. But yes, that's a example where that's a custom property where I say, okay, font weight for domain, it's like that. It's a bit mixed up, it's not correctly. But now let's talk about colors. Because colors is a very important and painful topic, right? Because a designer says, make it brighter, and you say, no, I can't because of accessibility. The contrast is wrong. Like yesterday, the white text on the yellow, it's broken. But first, we have to talk about color systems in CSS. And I have to say, I think everybody of you know hex, what this is, and I have to say hex is broken. It's really broken. Why? I mean, it's great for copy a color because you have just one term to copy and you don't have to copy the red, the blue, the green, or whatever. But the thing is, it's not, for you, it's not readable. I think I know nobody, okay, I can read red like I know by heart, but the rest, I have no chance. If I see a hex, I said, okay, what color is it? I go to Google, enter the hex, and then I see the color field, and then I know it. And also, hex is also broken because it's just too limiting. It's really limited. I don't know if we see this in the next slide. We see it, great. You see the difference in the colors? Like in the red, where it's much softer. And that there are new color spaces we are able to define new colors. And if you look at the blue, the default RGB room, you can almost show every blue color, but on the red and even on the green, it's even worse. It just is not able to you're not able to save or output this green, this bright green in the hex color or the RGB format. I mean, hex color is just red, green, blue, a different notation, but you're not able to output this kind of bright green in hex. It's not possible. But your screen can do it. I mean, the new devices, they can show it. You have HDR, you have all this kind of stuff. It is possible, but you can't with hex, with RGB. And that's why one of the rewriting of this package, I think I really rewrite it 5 or 6 times in the last few years. I switched to OKLCH. And this is really important and it's awesome for design systems and color palettes, really. What is OKLCH? I mean, there's also a color space called LCH. What the heck is OKLCH? What does mean OK? OK means it's okay, it's fixed now. It's really funny. It's no joke. When I read the first time about it, I said, are you crazy like that? But okay, naming thing is hard, right? So if something is not quite fixed, we just call it okay, LCH. So it's fixed now. And what is fixed is that L, who stands for the lightness, is perceived. So that means 50% blue has the same lightness as 50% yellow. Mathematically, it's totally different. Normally, before was yellow was much lighter and blue was much darker. But that's not how our eyes work. So this color space is really adjusted to the human eye. So I don't know what your cat is seeing with this, but you see it right, and that's the goal. So the L, as I said, stands for the perceived lightness. C is for the chroma, that's from gray to the most exciting saturated color, who's spicing everything up. And hue is for the angel, that's for the not angel, for the angle from 0 to 360, where you can set the color kind of. And you have also, it's possible, of course, to define the opacity, the alpha, with it. But why I'm talking about color space in a talk about themes, because it's so crucial to have a tool set where you can handle colors easily. At the beginning, you have to set a color, and then you want to have it a bit darker if the mouse is over, or a bit lighter, or then have your a dark mode automatic or a light mode, and you have to change colors. You have to lighten things up. You have to darken things. You have to have the correct contrast color. All this kind of stuff. You have to do it, and if you give the people, the editor, to do everything manually, you're gonna be sure they're gonna mess it up. Not because they want to, but because they're able to. Just it's not because it's not that easy. It's not that easy to set the correct contrast color, because almost 10% of the men's don't see correctly the colors, I think. Some people don't even see colors. Then you have some every. From years ago, I was in working with a designer, and she said to me, "You have to change this blue button." And I said, "No, for me it's this is green." You know, so it's different. Everybody sees colors different. Nobody in the world sees the blue as you, and nobody in the world sees the sky in this color as you. So it's like your fingerprint. It's how you see colors. So it's crucial to have a good system on it. And with this, we are able to have automatic contrast colors. We have utilities to say, I want to have this color, but a little bit darker or a little bit lighter. And even some utilities where you can say, I want to have this this is the minimal lightness or the maximal lightness, where you have kind of a threshold where you say, don't get lighter than that. So like a switch. And it's freaking awesome. I was really, I read a lot about this different color spaces. I mean, there's OKLAB, there you have HASL, and all these different color spaces. And I decided for OKLCH because I think this is the most human readable color, and it's awesome what you get for benefits for using them. And then you say, yeah, but how about browser support? Hey, everything green. Yeah, Internet Explorer is not here because he's dead, right? So rest in peace. We're happy that you died. But the support is awesome. It's just working. In the beginning, I was thinking, okay, perhaps Safari can do it, but in terms of colors and fonts, is the Safari browser one of the best because they think that's very important for them. So that's no problem. And because of that, of course, I created a package for that. One more, I mean, can be possible. Now I just created a package where you can use this kind of color picker. You can adjust how it looks, and you get some, if you change it, perhaps you saw it before, you get some fancy names like dark slimline or this kind of stuff. You can define presets where you can say, okay, I want to have presets for my customer. But it's quite nice. And see also if you have this one with the text inside where you see it when it's collapsed, you see automatically the contrast color if it's rather be black or white. If you want to hear about more about colors, in a few weeks I will be invited at the working draft is in German. I will be talking about this and about accessibility and colors and how we kind of make it and how to automate all this that kind of stuff. So if you want to hear more about it, you're invited to sneak into. Talk about fonts. Do you know about variable fonts? You know what this is? I mean, some years ago we have fonts like Avenir Next, for example, and then we have a bold variant, and we have a slim, a thin, a extra, bold, and a regular and medium, and everything was one single file. And variable font is a font where you can just say is one file, and you have every width, you have every size, every if it's italic or not, it's just in one font included. You can really adjust it. And this is a website. It's called Font Fondue. And as a Swiss boy, I was really fondue. I like that. So I like this site. No, it was kind of the inspiration for the font editor I created. And you can define a path where all the fonts are lying. You can add some custom fonts, and if they're variable, you get automatically it's read out of this font. It's done with JavaScript. Take this font file, just read all the features and list them and make some sliders and some checkboxes that you can adjust the font how you want it. And with this kind of stuff, you are really, today is my mood to have a really thin font, just change it and you're done. And if your customers say, make the font bolder, just do it and you're done. So it's very, very useful. Now talk about the big thing in the room, logo, make the logo bigger. And I think if you're working in the front ends, you know this kind of websites. There are different approaches. This called is code pen, where you have your HTML, you have your CSS, you have your JavaScript, and then it's gonna output this kind of stuff. And I always said this would be kind of cool to have this in Neos, right? Would be nice. But yes, you have the HTML element. You say yes, but I have no preview. I can't use AFX elements, and the editor can broken it because it just opens a tag and forget to close it, and the site is broken. And in AFX that couldn't be happen. So we created an editor. It's called Carbon CodePen. It's done with the help of Mark Henry. And in that you can even use some Fusion AFX, your prototypes. So in that example, I just used the Neos brand from Font Awesome. Yes, Neos is in Font Awesome. And you can just output it. We even created a content element who is able to do that, where you can put your images inside and have some crazy stuff with properties where you have a second tab with properties where you can set your properties that you can loop over it and all this kind of stuff. And it's not meant for the broad editor. It's more for emergency. You have to do that very fast, so not every editor see this, but we are able to do that we have a very fast way to put something fast on the website without a deployment. Or if you have some really special element with special typings and this kind of stuff, just do it. And it's quite nice. It's not meant to be used everywhere. It would be a mess. The padding and the margins would be messed up. And I don't know if the website would be nice, but on some sites it's really cool to have this possibility. I mean, it's better to have it and then use it the other way, right? So it's really, really nice. But what's important is if you're making a system like that, always think about the editor, keep it easy, make it easy to use, because if it's not easy to use, you're getting more calls, you can't ride that much on your motorcycle, for example, for me, or you can have your other hobbies or other work if you're so boring. Make it easy, that you don't have to explain everything. And if you want to explain everything, you have this kind of help messages, use this kind of stuff that Neos provides you, and always think about what can I improve with that. And the cool thing is, if I now improve something on this system, it's kind of an ecosystem, right? Everybody gets it. It's really nice. Sometimes you have write some migration if it's some really breaking stuff and you don't want to change everything, but even there it's possible to write migrations. Yesterday we had a talk from Lizzie where she talks about migration, and I was thinking, God, thank you God that we have such a great system where we are able to migrate some nodes and some database queries and do some crazy stuff. We are able to do that, and this is awesome. I mean, it's really, really awesome to have this possibility. So you can change can really put some breaking changes on a package, and it just works out of the box because you have a migration. I mean, this is mind-blowing. For us, it's normal, but for other system, it's not possible. So Neos is awesome, right? Yes, but wait. There's one more thing. Yes, Steve Jobs. One more thing. I'm going to make some core packages of this whole ecosystem public. Use it. Use it, love it, hate it, do whatever you want. It's some core like Agora, it's the marketing part of the website. Some content elements. I mean, there are much more content elements. If you want, I can show it to you later on my laptop. The integration part, Paper Tiger, presentation package, where all this components lives. Style is the package where you put the sliders. Templates for it, some kind of, the people can create websites with some templating stuff, and if they're creating a new website, they just can say, okay, I want to use this template, and bam, text, image, block, quote, all is set, so they don't have to write it every time the new, all the time, so it's quite nice. And distribution is just a package where you just kind of kickstart your package with Composer Create, and you're done. And because it's public, it has a name, right? Of course. So we call it Neos Press. No, just kidding. um, the name in this project changed quite a few times because of legal terms, and then we thought, oh, it's not possible. But the first name of this was Lighthouse, because I said it's standing and you see it from far away, so I called it Lighthouse. And then we thought, okay, there's a tool called like that. Perhaps it's not that nice, so we changed the name after that to Light Speed. And we even have the domain, and it would be no problem with the server. It's also called like that. But a few weeks ago, some guy just registered as a trademark, and I said, "Fuck, yeah, okay, we have to coming up with a new name." And but the light tower was still a topic. I said, I like this thought because it's you see it from far away, and it's getting kind of secure for the boats, and also nails on the ground. It's a secure system. It's not that not so safe WordPress. It's really solid. You have like this Ferrari motor underneath and are able to get this thing fast out. So we came up with this name Lightfire. And yes, there is a website, but at the current it's just redirect to the GitHub page. It's still on progress. Sorry for that. I'm always a bit late. But we're working on it, and there will also be a .com domain, because we built this thing as a service with all Mautic and all this crazy stuff integrated, and some more crazy stuff who's coming up with. And with that, come on, so I'm coming to another topic about the roadmap. Yesterday I hear a talk about from Stefan Bruckmann about this content type selection. I thought this is an awesome idea. I have to integrate this. So this is on the first step now. There are some improvements in the color chooser, of course. They're still on the table. Thinking about the shop integration, a mail search integration, integration of a map proxy like this from Sandstorm, a privacy directory, user management. There are some issues on the monorepo where it's working on that. So, but I'm wondering about your ideas. What would be your ideas to what we can integrate here? And if you like this system, we can talk. We can talk in person. Or you can just scan this QR code. This is kind of a GitHub discussion where you just can write your ideas. I mean, if you want to try the system, try it, and if you have an idea, we can talk about that. Perhaps we already have it, because not everything is public now, because some parts of it are so built in the ecosystem we built up with the server and for example, the Miley search and the Mautic and all this kind of stuff. So, but we can talk about this all, and I'm really excited to hear your ideas. I mean, I'm a kind of a crazy person, consider myself, to do some kind of stuff like that. I mean, last 2-3 years I was working over 50% of my time just on this stuff here. But you are so also awesome people, and I'm really wondering what's your ideas about that. So that's it. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you. Thank you for your 5-star rating. Yes.
John, thank you very much for this. I think you coined a new term, Neos Press, that will stick in my head. Okay, so you've already submitted quite a lot of questions. How many working days did you spend? Can you count them?
I start counting them once, and it was no, it's mad ass. Really, it's rewritten about 6 times, and but I can say if a customer comes to me and say he want all these features, I mean we have a whole block system with tagging and multiple authors with RSS feeds, all this kind of stuff, right, built in. If a customer comes to me and say he want a website and he want to just have it handmade like before, I think he would surely have to pay 30K upwards just to have this kind of tool set where I just can say, okay, in 5 minutes, go, what's next? So,
Okay. The question if you plan to open sources, you already answered.
ha,
Thank
faster
you
than
very
you.
much for sharing that with us. Question, do you write more or less code with your system?
Um, I mean, you have some, like, when you take the wave, you don't have to use this wave. You can have it flat, like on the Major 7 website I showed you beginning. So it's still there. Would be able to, of course, it's code there for having this possibility. But I'm writing less code in terms of if I have a new website going fast up, I don't write code anymore, just a stack YAML for just some configuration stuff for the Docker image. Not even that, we're gonna automate that also. But I'm lazy, so I'm trying to make my life as comfortable as possible. So I'm working hard on that to make my life comfortable. So
That
I
sounds
hope it's answered like that.
like a good plan, yeah. Here's an idea. Have you thought about a theme repository?
Yeah, I mean, there's a package like this presentation package, and some of the core stuff it's built in there, and the thing is about to extract perhaps even more to say have different navigation packages where we handle the different navigation. It could be possible. And yes, there are some ideas about that. There are also a crazy idea to have a backend module with written in Svelte, of course, because I love Svelte. Um, just sidekick, where you can adjust the settings there because it's perhaps a nicer view, but it's a starting point, I guess, and I think Neos should have a place in the world of themable content management system. Neos should have a place there, and this is just a kind of a starting point for this, and I'm exciting what's going to be next. So open for your ideas and help.
All right, thank you. Next question. Do you calculate the color transformations in pure CSS, or is this done via Fusion or PHP?
What do you think? Yes, CSS.
only.
I mean, you know me. No, it's done in CSS. It's kind of magic, and in the future there will be some more exciting features will be possible with colors and CSS, how you manipulate them, and it's in a good way, not like SAS where you say darken 10%, it doesn't work because it's on the wrong color space. There are new awesome features to come in terms of colors, but now it's just done with custom variables and just split the colors up in these 3 parts, and then I can adjust every part of this color as I want.
So here's another question about versioning. Like now the editors have all these nice sliders and can make all these changes. Are the settings stored somewhere? Are they in the database, or can they be versioned, or is it I broke my site and
First, it's you have a policy there that not everybody can change the colors because not everybody has a good sense of tastes. Yes, I mean, no, with Neos 9, yes. I mean, it's currently it's built on node properties. So if you have a way to version them, yes. If not, no. So, um,
Okay, and have you tested how the themes perform on Google page speed?
yes, 95, 100. Also we're everything is green, and the CSS who's generated is just a theme.css. There are the custom variables, and the rest is just working. And because um, we built a system like that, if you don't have a package installed, the CSS don't come inside of the main CSS because Tailwind don't see the source. It's don't gonna build, so it's always the kind of optimated CSS for that. And yes, I didn't mention that we even working on a system. It's kind of Confluence in Neos. It's called it's still work in progress. It's not yet ready. Perhaps next year I'm gonna have a talk about the thing. It's called Alexandria. So that's my name. If you hear it, Alexandria, the Grand Bibliotary, the old one. So it's gonna come, but it's still always optimated for that what you use. If you don't have a package, it's not in there. If you have a custom package like the block code, who have some CSS, that's just included if the content element is itself, it's on the website, so it's very nice. And they're also lazy loaded.
Okay. Final question. I think you mentioned you open source some parts of it, but you still have some plans to make some commercial
Yeah, I
elements
mean, I
available?
have to feed my family.
Yeah.
No, we built, it's, okay, I wrote this whole Neos crazy part stuff, but with David Spiola, what you heard yesterday, and some other guy, Markus Müller, he's not here. We build a whole ecosystem around that with server and all this kind of stuff. We have Mautic integration, and it's very tailored to this kind of service. So yes, if you have now a customer, we just say, pay us $50 per month, and you get the whole system, you get the whole updates and all this kind of stuff.
All right.
Just to have it, and they're really happy with it. And yes, because we have there some more fancy stuff going on in the background, we're able to do some more fancy stuff, of course. And this is not meant to have just take it and now everybody use the same. It's yes, use it. I'm proud of kind of somebody use my package. I'm really excited. If somebody told me I found a bug on your package, I'm really excited because hey, he used my package and he found a bug. Great. And here's the same, but it's more also like inspiration and come up with your own elements, your own custom content elements, because I think Neos deserve that to have this kind of stuff. And of course, there are some packages who are closed because it's not possible just to, would not make sense to throw them out because you need the server around that, and it's tailored to this one.
So,
Sorry
if
for
you're
my long talk.
interested in finding out more about Lightfire or John's awesome keynote skills, I saw a question about that as well. Approach John directly and ask him how he does it with the fancy backgrounds moving and everything. Thank you very much for your talk about Neos themes. Please don't forget to rate the talk
5 stars.
in the NeosCon app. Of course, you also
Thank you so much.
You also get our speaker thank you present. And yeah, John, thank you very much for your talk.